Again, this is Bobby at Copel TV Repair, and this is a functionality proof for an LG mainboard that was returned to here. Customer claiming that there is no image out on his TV, and that's probably correct because they know better what's on their TV. We can only see what's on ours. I'm trying to get some shots here for unique markings on the board so that the customer knows this is their board that's currently attached to the TV. I'm not faking things. We have many testing videos, functionality proof videos on this set. This is what we use for testing, and this is the board as it came out of the TV. Haven't done any changes, and it doesn't really matter if we did or not because we're going to be paying for the return no matter what, even when the board arrives working, like in these cases, and the problem is somewhere else. Unfortunately, that was the most fair deal that we could find over the years. When the board doesn't work, we pay return shipping. When the board does work, we pay return shipping. That is because there is no way for us to prove and convince the customer that it was working when it first came. What really matters is that it is working now, and what that means is that if it doesn't work on the customer side, one of two things must be happening. Well, possibly more, in all fairness. There is no backlight, and that could be because LED strip was burned, or because, much less likely, the LED driver has gone bad. LED strip is the better option because if only one LED strip goes bad, I believe the whole panel will go off. Or if the backlight comes up, and you can see it like you can see it here, then it must be, let me turn that off, then it must be the individual wires of the cable that goes into the main board. Those things here on the back, we've made a number of videos for them for other things. When they go bad, this is not the original cable, this is a made-up cable because they wear out extremely fast. Somewhere here, this is the original cable. Maybe this will show what happens. Yep, it's a good example. So this cable is not usable anymore. The first time something like that happens, it's not as bad. You can see the individual wires, those copper things bent backwards. Those are not going to be making contact. Some of them may short out. The original design of those cables is such that they're not made to withstand a lot of insertion. It's very easy to go to that state. So for TV repairers like us, this is a fairly common situation, because of which in some cases we have resorted to, and it's fairly common to things like that, where we make an extension of the original cable and use cables that we can find more easily. They're usually not as good as the original, but they have the benefit that we can easily source them, and they are one way or another compatible. So this is something that happens fairly often, even after 2, 3, 4 insertions. Usually the first time those individual wires go bad, it is not as bad as I was showing it, and they can be manually straightened. Of course, it is also possible that the LCD panel got cracked, but usually in that case that will be a visible line or something, so that's less likely to happen. Lastly, the T-con board may have gone bad, of course. Again, there will be backlight, there will be nothing on the screen. Then again, there may be intermittent issue with that board. Always possible, unfortunately, but not very likely based on what I've seen. It's a cold day today. The board is cold to the touch. Was cold to the touch before it started working. And I don't think that's going to be the case. I would believe if a customer says, listen, there were 2 repairs done on that board. The first was back in 21, as the label says on the board. The second on 23, barely 2 weeks ago. And if the customer comes and says in 3 weeks it stopped failed again, that will sound more likely. But what we have now, a board that is working here and not working on the customer end, it's a different problem. So Let me know if you have any questions, otherwise we'll just be sending it back. There's nothing for us to do here. Thanks.